to set how much I'm going to put on the tax bills for the coming tax year. But, you know, it is something to think about, is the fact that, you know, once we get to that.
If you could just give me that summary before that, and before Memorial Day, a couple weeks before that would be great. So I think it's typically our meetings right around Memorial Day.
This is Saturday of Memorial Day weekend.
Then lastly, on the county level, we had a summit meeting for goal setting and trying to maintain our budget, and we have a $55 million budget. There's a lot of challenges with that. I can say that the county is very healthy, that we're doing good. Our biggest challenge is health insurance, and then because that continues to go up, and then now we just heard that tilt money, we're losing possibly a bunch of that throughout the whole state, so we got to figure out, we haven't heard yet how much of that's going to be taken out of our coffers, but otherwise we're doing okay.
Any other comments? Any board comments, Lonnie? No?
Pleasure to serve.
Deb? Chris? I have two comments. One is we have a retirement party for Don, just so everybody knows. It's on March 23rd at 12:30 in the afternoon at the fire barn, and that will be held there. So I have given all the board members a proposed budget. You have copies of that. At the next meeting in March, we will present, which will be the Monday morning meeting, we will present budget amendments and what we need to do to wrap up this year's budget. We will pass these budgets, or whatever is decided by the Monday morning meeting, on Friday, March 29. I did not realize it was Good Friday when we set the date, but it's Good Friday, so I apologize for that. And then we will make those amendments on that meeting on March 29, because that'll wrap up the year end and all the budget stuff will be done. So it looks to me,
I gotta have that back. It's got my notes on it.
it looks to me like by the time this year is all said and done, we should come in about $45,000 under what we should have been. So we're $45,000 to the good. That's what you're seeing.
I haven't looked at
If
it
we
closely,
get the-
but that, just glancing at it. Yeah.
Getting the last two revenue sharing payments and all that. We put $60,000 back into fund balance last year. We put $40,000 in this year. It brings our fund balance back up over that $200,000 mark pretty good. If that's the case and all is good, I would like to try to manage through this year. If we come around this time next year and we're going to be 40 to 50,000 to the good, we work this year to put together a wish list, and I mean a wish list when I say this, Bob, for lawn tractors and different equipment we need, different improvements, John, as you need at the transfer station, and we take that, what we can save throughout the year, and we make the improvements that we have not done over the last years, because we've kind of let a lot of stuff slide when that revenue was on the bottom side. So now that it's there, we need to put together a plan of how to spend that money, and I want to make sure by next year, if we're going to come into revenue the way we are, I'd like to have that plan put together that we can spend that money next year instead of just putting it back in. So.
And I thought you were going to tell us you were going to lower our taxes.
No such luck.
I know.
You know, the sad part of it is, it's a very, very small portion that we could affect. It's only 0.7 of a mil. The rest of it's revenue sharing stuff we get from the state. So it's not really the property tax.
But that
Oh,
comes
that
from,
caused some questions.
that comes from people spending money.
Sales tax. The more they spend, the more we
And
get.
that's why we have to invest the money back in,
Correct.
to get the people here and to keep them here and to keep them happy, so they spend the money.
Money.
And that's what we haven't done in years.
Yes,
You know-
exactly.
Rebuild our infrastructure.
Let me comment on my large colleagues point down there, because I'm going to give you some emphasis. You know, you just heard us say we're going to do this hail and farewell party on the 23rd. I want to let everybody know here that we're doing all of our shopping for that party right here in Croton. Okay, we're going to James. I've already been there. I've already talked to Dan, and everything that we're going to do is going back into this community.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm Carol Anderson, 6153 Lakeshore Drive. I'm wondering if you have made a decision on the post office. Yeah.
Ma'am, there's been no formal decision made on the post office yet. No, we are still right now waiting to hear on their response of the increased revenue ask. We have not heard a response for them.
I'm just wondering, because I haven't heard anything either.
No?
And I talked to Mr. Hall today, so he knows my name.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people, older people that really
Yeah.
I like it there, because it helps us as we age. It saves a lot of traveling time, so.
And I appreciate that. Like you say, moving into the next year, this is the time when the budgeting and the decision will start to come around, and that's when it's gonna happen. For myself, and I know we've had this discussion, and it'll be a tough issue for this board. This board's had a pretty smooth sailing thus far. The post office is gonna be one of our tougher issues.
Well,
That's gonna
I
come
know there's a
from
lot of opposition to it, but.
both sides.
But, you know, there are people that don't take advantage of the parks and the library that would take advantage of the
Post office,
So,
yeah.
I mean, if, we have to look at everybody, not
Yeah,
just,
and
not
I
just
agree.
specific groups, so.
And as that decision moves forward, we will make sure people know when that's gonna happen. So I, for one, am waiting to hear from the post office, but I won't wait too long before we start to push for something. They
This
better.
one's people here.
No, the federal, we're in Washington right now, waiting for our exact.
Thank you.
That group.
And not to say anything, but that's part of my problem. As bad as they're screwing up, we shouldn't be paying them. But I understand the people, and there's a lot of people that like it. So again, it will be an issue for this board, and it's not an easy one.
Another thing, like Mr. Hall said, that it was voted down in the election, but like I kind of talked to him, that this was not a good time for an election, people, the economy, if it was a different time, they might have voted both for the library and post office.
So are you saying you talked to Mr. Hall, and he's changing his mind?
No.
Oh, I just wanted to clarify.
I didn't want to have to change his mind.
Oh. No, those are the only things I have. Again, I want everybody to look at those budgets, be familiar with them. We're going into March, we'll hold those meetings, and we should definitely wrap this up. Thank you for your comment. Jim, you got one more thing?
Yeah, you're
One
talking
more.
about having extra money to buy miscellaneous equipment.
I'm saying it's possible.
Have you now put together a long-term capital improvement plan,
That's exactly what I was referring to, Jim. Yes.
buildings and everything?
Everything we need to look at, we need to start looking if we can maintain where we're at, yes,
Okay.
yes. We actually have a capital improvement fund already for buildings.
Do you have
What
a
we,
plan, though?
well, what we didn't do also with that building is we were set to take 6,000 or 8,000 out of it. It was 6,000 or 8,000, we're not gonna take it out this year. That's one of the amendments we have for our budget is we were gonna take money out of that, we don't need to take it out. So we're gonna leave it in there. So that fund is still sitting at 23,000, 24,000.
Do you have a,
We do not have a plan, Jim, absolutely not.
I think it's something that's, you know, because everything needs maintenance,
Everything.
and,
Yeah. And understand, Jim, this is why I'm not sitting here tonight trying to tell you we need to spend some money one way. We got a year to figure that out and make that plan, knowing we'll have close to X amount next year. But you're correct, this is what we gotta do, is figure that plan out. And you're absolutely correct, it's gonna take a little bit going everywhere to make it work. So, yes, very correct. If there's no more questions, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn, sir.
I'll say.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. 1 hour, look at that.
Bob,
Don't get
when you
20
come
seconds.
in with a wish list for year-end month, make sure you do your homework and you do the service, you know, anything else. They just say, I want a lawnmower, trust us, you're in trouble. No, yeah, you want to do that legwork yourself, so the stuff goes, does it, do it for you.
I already got one.
How many are left in?
Doctor screaming or?
jogging home?
No, I'm gonna.